Money Matters with Mike Hill and Casey Harding.
Yeah.
This is another episode
Yeah.
episode
Episode.
of. I'm so great. I'm a linguist. Another episode of our podcast. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching. Today, this one hopefully is pretty popular because I have a soon-to-be 20-year-old and a 22-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
Can't believe that sometimes.
Wow.
Also have three stepdaughters, two of which are in their 20s. So, man, it's just we're running and gunning. But this one today is what to do in your 20s to set yourself up for financial success. I was privy enough to my dad to sit me down, and he gave me some of the same advice. Did I listen to some of it? No. Did I listen to a little bit of it? Yeah, Dad, but if you're not watching this, shame on you. I'm admitting it right now. But one of the first ones we're going to do, that fun thing, but it doesn't have to be. Y'all have a heck of a lot more technology than we did, for Pete's sake. It's Casey, my partner, Casey Harding. He's going to tell you what the first step is, Mr. 20-year-old. Yes, we're talking to you. About how to get financially set up for the rest of your life. And I think the first one, I'm going to go ahead and toss it to Casey.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So it's like, what are the parameters for a good budget, and maybe what are the percentages that we should be like targeting on those different main big categories. So there's a general rule of doing 50, 30, 20, and that's 50% is needs, 30% is wants, and then 20% is savings. That's kind of a good, kind of macro, if you will, rule of thumb. But there's some great budgeting apps, YNAB, Mint, Every Dollar, that's a Dave Ramsey one. I definitely have our engineers out there that just want to do their own spreadsheets, and definitely have seen some good ones. But that's more for the people that just want to do it themselves, as far as the not having necessarily a tool. But the other, kind of getting behind that 50, 30, 20. How much should we spend on housing? What should be the target? 25 to 30%. I would, most of them in my financial plans, would recommend more of that 25% target versus 30. But that just frees up a little bit more of that room in the budget for other things.
Can I interrupt you right there? Because my daughter's 22. She's moving into her first apartment with a roommate. And to your point, even if she's not her school loans or anything like that, the money that she's making, if she's bringing in $2,000 a month, and her payment should only be $500, or it should only be $600.
Right.
That's what I try to tell her. And I'm like, Dad, I can't get anything for that. Well, then if we want to count some of the loans or some of that, we could go towards that. But that's your budget. That's where you are.
It is. It's just where you're at, and kind of the stage of life, that you're in. But
a little telephone spool for a coffee table. I mean, hey, it is what it is.
So.
I'm not that mean of a dad. I got a smaller
No.
telephone spool for a nightstand.
For sure. But then you're thinking like food. How much should we be spending on food? And this would include your restaurants and stuff like that. But 10 to 15% of your overall income should be going towards food. Insurance should be around that 10 to 20% as well. The recreation, personal, these are that 30. Recreation probably 5 to 10%. Personal 5 to 10% as well there. Mike on previous podcasts has said, well, what should we be spending on a car? It's around that 15%, 10 to 15%. Kind of target there, and that's not just the payment. That would be your payment plus the insurance. Those are some of the more of like percentage wise what we should be spending on those kind of more micro level categories in your overall budget. But yes, I mean, getting that 10 to 15% towards savings definitely should be the target. I mean, working towards 20% based on that 50, 30, 20 rule. But when you're first starting out, I think targeting 10 to 15 is really where you should start, and then as your income grows, get towards that 20%.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. The first thing you got to have, and this is number 2 on the list, and we don't have to go down the whole list, is an emergency fund. I get this all the time. People graduating from college, how much do you have in your savings account? My daughter's already had a dip into hers a couple of times for car tires, etc. Because what happens is when you don't have an emergency fund, now you got to go what? You got to go get a loan from your dad, or you got to go get a credit card and pay 29% interest on something that you bought. A couch that cost you $800 winds up costing you $2,000 in interest. I'm begging you, imploring you to build up your emergency fund the first second year that you're out of college. That's what I want. If you haven't done it yet, do that immediately. Well, how do I do that? If you get paid $4,000 every month, I want $400 going to a savings account every single month. It comes out on the 15th. You don't do it. You make the bank pull the funds. This isn't your vacation fund. This isn't your fun account.
Right.
This is your emergency account, because brakes go out, transmissions go out, roofs get hailstorms, you name it.
There's always
all the things
something.
happen.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you how many times an emergency fund has literally bailed me out. So do that. Then we could talk about number 3, which is
retirement savings. And so
yes, retirement savings at 20.
yes, you should start early. Why? Because of the compounding interest effect that will have over a 30, 40-year career. It's crazy. And I've kind of seen this with clients that are just starting out. They're like, I feel like the account's not growing. Like they're 5 years into their career, and they're like, I only have $5,000 in it, or $10,000 in it. I should already have 50 or 100,000 by now. What's going on? Why isn't the market, giving me a good enough return to get there? Well, you don't really see those leaps and bounds until you really get into your 50s.
Yeah.
Because now you've got 500,000 in your retirement account, and a 10% return in 1 year, an extra $50,000. And so when you start compounding that over that, from 50 to 60 is where everybody sees their most large pickups in their retirement accounts. Their largest growth is those final 10 to 15 years of their career.
I used to teach this little financial planning class over there at the high school once a year. I'd go over there and I'd start talking to the juniors and the seniors. And one of the slides that always stuck out, to your point, because they say all the same thing. It takes forever to do, which you're right. But after about 40, 50, man, that's why Grandpa can give you the $50 out of his wallet, because he's gotten 500,000 in his 401k now. But there was a slide, and I'll never forget it. If you had 1 cent, and then you doubled it, now it's 2 cents. Well, what do you do? And then you doubled it again, it's 4 cents. Man, it's 8 cents, 16 cents. By day 5, it's only 32 cents.
Right.
If you did that starting with 1 penny and you just doubled it every day for 1 month, on the 30th day, it's over $4 million.
It's crazy.
That's what compounding interest does. You just keep going, keep going, keep going over 30, 40 years. This is what the rich know. Compounding interest is the greatest invention ever made, according to Albert
Eighth wonder
Einstein.
of the world.
It's compounding interest. Albert Einstein said it's the best invention ever created. So, yes, get your retirement account going, get it early, make it systematic.
Yeah.
Start investing, even if you know it's small. You got Robinhood accounts now that you can open for $100. There's things that you could do as you're younger. I want you to be. I had a young man come in again the other day, 18 years old. He was asking me what stocks to buy. I said, what are you interested in? You're going to follow it if you're interested. Well, I don't know. Do you have an iPhone? Okay, what do you think about Apple stock? Let's look at it. You could start anywhere. My stepdaughter, she was wanting to get invested in the stock market. 14 years old. I was so proud of her. And one of the things that I asked her, I said, what do you like? She said, likes, of course, Lululemon. I go, well, this is a great thing. I like Lululemon stock. It's retail, so I don't know about that. It's also a Canadian stock, so with all these tariffs and everything, maybe. So it got us talking about investing in all the things that affect sometimes an investment. So, but yes, start small, start young. I can't tell you enough. Well, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. We're giving you the blueprint right now. I get people all the time that are 25, 26. I don't have enough money to start. $40, $50 a month. Yes.
Yeah.
It works.
Absolutely.
So anyway.
What are your thoughts on credit cards?
Oh, hate them. I mean, they're a necessary evil. If you're going to have them, pay them off every month. I like them. I've had this with kids. I'll have a dual credit card where we're both on it. So if they need to do things like, I'll give them $500 a month to pay for their food and all that while they're on campus, use the credit card. We'll pay it off. Now it's in their name. It'll help them build credit. I've done things like that. But credit cards, I cannot stand. I cannot stand paying interest. The only reason I have a credit card is for the airline miles. But I pay it off every single month.
You got to pay it off. Yeah.
Every single month. If you don't pay it off every month, they got you. That's when it rolls over.
Sure.
And that's why when you go on these college campuses, hey, we'll give you a free T-shirt. We'll give you a free football.
All the banks are right there.
That's why. They're trying to get you young. It's like, forgive me, it's like a drug dealer. Let's get them hooked now.
Oh, man.
And then they'll never get off, So I hate credit cards. My daughter's opened a credit card. I think I'll be madder about that than if they flew to Mexico for spring break without telling me. So, debt. You said that.
Building good credit, you kind of hit on that. I mean, let's see. Live below your means.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You don't all have to live like you're a TikTok influencer. I get it, okay? But In your 20s, forgive me, Casey, I kind of want to talk about this.
Yeah.
In your 20s, you're supposed to be broke. I remember digging in my couch, literally trying to find 52 cents,
Yeah.
not 50, 52 cents, because Wendy's had a 49-cent hamburger. Well, with taxes, it was 52 cents. You know you're broke when you're at the counter counting out pennies to get you a hand. But that's okay. That's what made me actually get up the next morning and go to work, because I didn't have any money. I had to bring it in. So it is okay to live beneath your means. It's okay to be broke. Nobody wants to do it. But if you want a lifetime of well off, you have to sacrifice a little. It's like anything else. When you go to the gym, you don't walk in day one and all of a sudden you have abs and everything else. It takes sacrifice, 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 sacrifice. Then you look up, oh my gosh, I have abs today. When did this happen? It's the same way with lifetime of income.
Yeah.
Or lifetime of wealth.
Well, and then everybody talks about the side hustles or the gig economy and things like that. That, I mean, if you're in your 20s, you're not married, or you're newly married, you before kids, you've got a little bit of time there, extra time that you probably don't even realize that you have, that you could go out and do that side hustle. And let's say y'all's expenses are taken care of by your W-2 income or whatever you're doing, but the side hustle is what we're using to start building wealth. Like, that's what we're going to use to start saving and building that emergency fund and doing those kind of Dave Ramsey baby steps to get there faster, so that we can get that 10 to 15% going towards retirement.
This is where, and this is where we get personal. Casey's daughters are a lot younger than mine, and she just graduated
Kindergarten. Yep,
so
yep.
he's a little bit ways behind me. So maybe I'm coming across as the mean dad or whatever like. But my daughters, my youngest came to me. And I'm proud of her. She wants to go into photography. She's doing that on her side, and she loves doing photography. And she goes, Dad, I don't know. I was thinking about marketing. I was thinking about this. I go, I don't feel, this is where the mean dad maybe, and I wasn't quite this harsh. I don't feel sorry for you at all. And this is my whole point. You have the world at your fingertips. We had to wing it. I had to actually go ask old people, how do I do a business plan?
Yeah.
How do I do marketing? You know what you could do? Excuse me.
No, you're good. It's what is there.
Oh, I got ChatGPT. Yeah, ChatGPT, create a marketing plan for a photographer that's around 19 to 20 years old that likes to take outdoor pictures, that lives in Central Texas. Within 30 seconds, you'll have an email filled with marketing, with posters, with sayings, with things that you can hand out.
It's
done
crazy.
for you. If you're 20 years old right now and you aren't learning everything you can about AI and ChatGPT, shame on you, because that's where everything is going. It's all right there at your fingertips, and a lot of it's for free or at very minimal cost. So you want to go to a business plan and get a loan from a bank? ChatGPT can do a business plan for you that's 15 pages within 5 minutes. It's insane. So that's what I'm not telling you to go to a business plan to raise gerbils in your backyard, maybe.
No.
I didn't tell you what your business plan they will or won't give you money on, but I was kind of the mean dad. I was like, you have ChatGPT and you're coming in here asking me how to create a marketing plan?
Yeah.
I guarantee it'll come up with one better than me. I could tell you what I think.
For sure.
So anyway, there's no reason not to have some kind of side hustle or be able to market your side hustle. There was a couple of good books on here. If you're interested, everybody does podcasts now.
Yeah.
I.e. me and Casey. But I just got finished reading this one, actually, The Psychology of Money.
That's a good one.
Very, very good one. I Will Teach You to Be Rich in Your Money or Your Life. That one is very, very good. That one is, if you want to have a life of hand to mouth, consistently struggling, I can't tell you how many times I see people that are only make $55,000, $60,000 a year, but they save every single year. It becomes a habit that they look up and they're 50, 55 years old and they're not struggling. I don't want you to be 65 living on Social Security and that's it. And I'm going to let you wrap up. Because
no, you're good. That was great. I mean, the last thing here is just you're setting out, your first job, getting established. You've got to set goals and put those, down on paper or on your phone, somewhere where you're going to be reminded, like, this is what I'm striving for. This is what I'm going after. And there's this, SMART goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. You've got to set goals that meet those parameters, so that as you're achieving them, you're able to kind of check them off and start setting new ones. And so I think getting with a good financial advisor to help you kind of set those financial goals and those and get a good financial plan in place early, even if it's you're just starting off with $50 a month, going into some sort of savings account. But that's what we're here for, to kind of help give you that guidance. Yeah, I thought this was a good one.
It's not a goal till you write it down. If it's not written down, then it doesn't count. And do it visually. I say that all the time. I have goal boards.
Yep.
I have them in the office. We have things that we're trying to achieve, and they're visual. It's not just written. It's visual, So I won't go over all of them, but we do have some goals of ourselves that we've set in our office.
Yep.
But I will tell you, in your 20s, you have a huge opportunity in this day and age, in this country, and everywhere we are. There's no reason that you can't start setting money aside. I can't afford it. Yes, you can. Because I promise you, when you're 40 years old with 2 kids and you're married and a bigger mortgage, the bills just get bigger and it just becomes larger. And you're going to be like, I can't afford it now because now I got to pay for 2 girls to go to college.
Yeah.
I got to pay for 2 girls to go to school. I got to pay for cars for my young. It never ends. It only gets more expensive. So if you don't set that habit now, you're not going to have it at 40 and 45.
Right.
That is the thing that I can't stress enough. I hear it all the time. Well, Dad, only make $22,000 a month. Trust me, when you make $20,000 a month, you're going to spend 10 times more.
Yeah.
So just make sure you do it now. So
For sure.
Anyway, not to become preachy, but this is Mike Hill, Casey Harding.
Yeah, money matters.
Money matters, and look for the next podcast coming to you soon.